Welcome to Locations Estate Agents Property Week, the week that was in the Gladstone region. We're very lucky to be joined by Tony Ward, independent business owner and auctioneer with the Auction Group based in Gladstone. He's joining the panel today for a little bit of guest commentary around auction. We also have some very friendly, familiar faces, Tanya, Jamie, Michael and Jenny. So welcome to all of you. Market is definitely heating up. We're seeing a lot of activity through opens and also private inspections. I think about 3 or 4 properties going under contract just this week. And even with the wet weather last weekend, we still had very good numbers through the open homes and all sorts of buyers out there in the marketplace. Jamie, tell us what you're seeing.
Oh, I'm first. Okay. So yeah, look, last weekend was a cold, wet, miserable weekend, but we still had plenty of interest, which is fantastic. As everyone else will touch, plenty of home buyers out there, and a lot more confidence. You know, a lot more people telling me, "Hey, what's new on the market? Have you got anything in the pipeline?" Because people are once again missing out on houses. They ring up, and all of a sudden it's under contract. I'm even getting random calls from people just seeing my number asking about rentals, and I don't really have too much knowledge about that. So girls are. And even actually, I forgot to tell you guys, I've got a call about someone who is loving our online videos, and she wants to do. She's not selling or anything, but she wants to do a little piece on her own house. So there's plenty of action, people calling, plenty of people looking to buy, which is, like I said, plenty of confidence in the market and heating up. Any hot new listings?
We'll do some shameless plugs a little bit later. Michael, you're seeing something similar just with first home buyers, both you and Tanya.
Yeah, I've been dealing with nothing but first home buyers for the last month probably, which is great, exciting time for them. There's some good first homeowner grants going around even for established homes, and the interest rates are insanely low. So they're jumping in the market while it's still quite low. Budgets are ranging anywhere from 250 to 450, which is really surprising. I think a lot of first home buyers are, rather than buying that smaller home at a cheaper price to begin with, then upgrading, they're actually just going full bang in for their dream home from the get-go. So wages are pretty good here, interest rates are low. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And Tanya, you say you're seeing more people in that 250 sort of price range. So maybe the opposite of what Michael's seeing with those first home buyers.
That's probably the reason why I'm seeing it, Alicia. Most of my listings are sort of from the 250 down. I've got quite a range of available properties at the present moment. You know, 185 over in Lunga Drive, you know, 199 in Ann Street in South Gladstone, and then Daniel Street over there at 210 in New Auckland. You know, great buying for people that, you know, need to get in and get out of the rental side of things. I was talking to Lisa there at State Bank on last Friday, and she said that the government has still got a few loans there with the 5%, and the government guarantees the mortgage insurance. So it's a great opportunity. Like, you know, don't let it pass. The money's so cheap and things like that. You know, when we bought our first home, we paid 17.34 or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous amounts of money for interest. So yeah, jump on board and have a look at these homes. Yes, they do need a bit of work, but you know, that's how you put your stamp on your home. So look forward to seeing everybody this weekend. They're advertised on Facebook and also on realestate.com and Locations Estate Agents.
Not a shameless plug, Tanya. Anything else in that one? Got it all out one mouthful. I was like, oh, bang, done. Just with the low interest rates too, with residential, commercials also doing some fantastic rates. I'm looking at some different options at the moment, and some of the fixed 3-year products are just ridiculously good, on top of obviously government loans. One thing we are noticing though is that demand factor. We're running out of listings. We are literally running out of listings with the stuff that's going and for the stuff that's on trend. You know, anything in that 250 to 450, whatever, as long as it's price, presentation and profile, do the work, make sure your house is clean. No one likes to look at, you know, dirty stuff in a house, and that the presentation is on point. It goes a long way. Staging is incredibly important because it is that emotive attachment that drives the price. And if something that looks pretty, people like pretty, and people will pay a premium for pretty. We're not going back to Jamie's escort type service that he hinted at with intimate service levels the other week, but we're just saying from a property point of view, it really does pay to get that presentation right. We might just hold with Jenny for a second, but Tony, with auctions, Why auction? Convert the unconverted.
Look, you know, auction for a lot of people is kind of a dark art and they don't understand it. There's nothing to be afraid of at auction. Auction is, in fact, the most transparent form of sale there is. You can see who you're bidding against. They're right there in front of you, whether it's live on the front step of the property or via a Zoom forum such as this. And we've successfully, within the auction group, conducted hundreds of auctions via Zoom. Even last week in Gladstone, we had a cracking sale. But look, we're allowed back on site now. To go back to your question, why auction? Auction is transparent. There's nothing hidden. You can see exactly what's going on. We're very happy as your auctioneers to speak with people who want to bid, help coach them through the system. I did this with some buyers last week. They'd never even attended an auction. They'd just seen them on TV, so I talked them through it the day before, answered their questions. You guys have all talked in one form or another about pent-up demand, shortage of listings. That's a supply-demand equation. That is a perfect scenario as a seller to auction. It makes it a great time to get your property out there. You'll find out what is the true value of your property. It puts all the conjecture aside and you'll find out what your property is really worth. 2, create a competitive environment, engage the emotion that you just spoke about, Alicia, get that emotion going and that desire, couple it with the super low interest rates Tanya's alluded to, lowest in my lifetime, and then create a competitive environment. And it's perfect and you will get a very, very strong result. And people get all hung up about selling on the day. But it's there, talk to your salespeople and go the gavel.
Might have to finish with that bad boy, I think. Jenny, you've always been a big fan of auctions. Even when you had your own agency, you do a lot of rural as well. It's been a backbone in your listing kit and basically arsenal, really, for sales. Why do you love auction?
Well, mainly because of what Tony said as well. And auction gives a deadline on when your house will be sold. And if it's not sold at auction, quite often it's sold after the auction. So it gives you a deadline and gives you, a better opportunity to move forward instead of waiting till you get a contract. And it's cash sale, so, auctions are fantastic. I've got a good house coming up that I suggest auction, so hopefully we'll be able to attract a lot bigger crowd when that house is ready. If you're in the prime position, the best way to go is auction because you never know what you could achieve. And this is such a great time for people to actually list their homes that have been sitting on the perch waiting for prices to go up. The market is really, really busy at the moment. There's a lot of activity. So ring us, call us. We'd love to come and see your home and give you a complimentary appraisal. And you.
Nice shameless plug there in the back of Jenny there, Michael. Well done.
Sorry.
Yep, it's not back to front either. So now we move on to shameless plugs. What have you got coming up that's hot property, guys? Not all at once.
Everywhere.
Tanya.
I've got one.
Yep.
I've just done the doc sign on it this morning. It's a unit down at Barney Point with an ocean view in one of the new buildings down there. 2006 was the build. 81 square metres, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, all new furniture, all freshly painted, on the market for 165. So,
wow.
Tony, that's got your name all over it, isn't it?
Where do I sign?
Where do you sign? Yeah, it's one I'd put in my
I've got
back
my
pocket
pen.
too.
Call me Tanya, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, good buying. What's the rental appraisal, did you say?
I haven't got that yet. As I said, I only did the doc sign this morning on it. So we've just picked it up this week and I'll organise an rental appraisal for it. I did see someone else in another agency in town is asking $250 a week there. So I'm not sure.
That's about right for that, I think. Yep,
Yeah.
furnished.
Yeah, no, this is great buying. So, it's on the market, it's ready to roll. And yeah, I think it's not going to be there long.
Yeah,
I can get to it 12.
Yep, early bird catches the worm. You saw it first here on Property Week.
He's not joking either.
He's not joking.
No.
Michael, shameless plug.
Oh, there's that many. I could be here all day, as I mentioned.
Oh,
Look, 2 that I've got that are already on the market. 6 Brolga and 15 Oxley Drive. They're both lovely homes. I've got them open this weekend. On Saturday, times will be on the listing and realestate.com. Come along, say hello, and buy, please.
Yeah, just buy
You
it.
got
On here, buy it. Is this a COVID
15
form? No, it's a contract.
Oh, sorry.
Jamie?
You got a reduction on 15 Oxley too, Michael?
I do. Thank you, Jamie. $319. So it is hot property.
And
It
you got
just
a
is
reduction
like-
on
even
Helston
in
as
these-
well during the week, which is good.
Yep,
That's
Helston down
Grapevine
to
and Selena.
$519. It's they're ready to go, guys. So come on board.
Yeah.
That 15 Oxley, me and Michael actually have a love affair with that place. It's got this amazing back
Oh,
deck, shed, fire pit area, carport, underneath sort of entertaining area. It is a good property.
It is
But
lovely.
enough
Yeah.
about Michael's properties. We'll get to mine. 93 Nando, once again, it's a large prestige living out there in Calliope. It's beautiful. Perfect weather to buy a house out there. Fires, couple of beers, even fireworks apparently went off a couple of weeks ago for someone's anniversary. So it's a great little community out there. That's at 575 Grapevine, massive block with a huge house. So come out this Saturday and have a look. The owner likes to put out a couple of beers and cakes. We had cakes last weekend, so even if you want to come out for a look and have a cake and maybe a cider or a beer, so it's good
You
fun.
have to watch your open home weight gain.
Yeah.
Maybe start doing the virtual ones again, so you're actually doing some laps around the house and not putting on the kilos.
No, it's, I doubt that would happen, but thanks for that, Tanya. I'm not sorry, Tanya, Alicia.
Oh.
Same,
Wasn't
same.
that old, does he?
Sisters, really. All right. Well, look, any final words? Jenny, have you got any shameless plugs?
I've got a new property. I've just listed 88 acres out at Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a weekender on there that's not council approved, but somewhere you could stay while you're building your dream home. Beautiful views, mountain views, and it's only 139,000.
Cheap.
Wow.
Cheap.
Call me.
That's probably on.
Call me.
Don't delay. Call Jenny today. Wink.
Yes.
Lovely.
All right. Well, look, I'm going to close it there. Going once. Going twice. Tony? So,
Oh.
thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right.